ZeiViral is smart health. What if every meal were a blank canvas waiting for your masterpiece? What you thought was just food is actually a secret language of colors and nutrients that can transform your health. Few people know this, but there's a visual code in foods that reveals hidden powers of energy, immunity, and longevity. What you're about to discover will make you see your plate like never before. What if I told you that every meal is an opportunity to create a masterpiece that not only feeds your body but transforms your health? More than 80% of people treat food as fuel, ignoring that it's a living language of colors, textures, and nutrients. This limited view prevents us from accessing the true power of food, the ability to reprogram our energy, immunity, and longevity. Nutritional Art breaks the obsession with calories and turns the plate into a self-care studio. From now on, every food choice is a brushstroke on your health. Imagine your body as a blank canvas and food as magical pigments. Each color carries unique compounds that activate protective genes, fight inflammation, and rejuvenate cells. While traditional diets focus on restrictions, Nutritional Art celebrates the abundance of nutrients that work in synergy. A simple, colorful plate can be more powerful than any supplement because it combines vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants in the exact proportion nature designed. This approach not only prevents disease but elevates your vitality to levels you once thought impossible. But how do you decode this visual code hidden in food? The secret lies in the colors that paint your plate. Each hue signals a specific superpower waiting to be unlocked. In the next few minutes, you'll discover how to transform ordinary meals into shields against aging, engines of energy, and immune fortresses. Get ready to see beyond the obvious. What was once just food will now reveal itself as a map to an extraordinary life. Your plate will never be the same. Have you ever thought that the colors of food are like a secret code that reveals their superpowers? Studies show that 90% of people ignore this visual language, missing the chance to activate the body's natural defenses. Each shade signals unique compounds. Reds like tomatoes and strawberries are shields for the heart, rich in lycopene that fights inflammation. Oranges and yellows like carrots and peppers are guardians of vision. Thanks to beta-carotene that turns into vitamin A, this palette is the oldest health map, hidden in plain sight. Greens like spinach and broccoli are detox agents, with chlorophyll that cleanses toxins and sulforaphane that repairs DNA. Blues and purples like blueberries and eggplants are allies against aging, loaded with anthocyanins that protect the brain. Whites and browns like garlic and mushrooms are underrated protectors. Allicin from garlic lowers blood pressure, while mushrooms strengthen the immune system. Science proves the more diverse the plate's palette, the more complete the cellular protection, like a multicolored army of defenders. Why is this color synergy so powerful? Because each pigment activates distinct healing pathways, creating an impenetrable armor when combined. The secret is not to depend on a single hero, but to build a complete team of nutrients that amplify each other. Now that you've decoded the chromatic code, you're ready to uncover the invisible pillars that sustain this masterpiece, macronutrients. What comes next is the key to turning knowledge into action. Did you know that 70% of people think carbohydrates are diet villains, ignoring that they are your body's primary energy source? Behind every perfect meal is a silent trio working in harmony to sustain life. Complex carbohydrates, like oats and sweet potatoes, release glucose slowly, providing stable fuel for the brain and muscles. Simple ones, like refined sugar, cause energy spikes followed by crashes. This distinction is the difference between an efficient machine and a car without brakes. Proteins are the architects that build and repair every cell in your body, from nails to neurotransmitters. They form antibodies, enzymes, and hormones, turning food into vital building blocks. Fats, on the other hand, have been unfairly demonized. Healthy ones like avocado and olive oil are essential for producing testosterone, absorbing vitamins of D, E, and K, and protecting organs. The most shocking fact, your brain is almost 60% fat. Without it, thoughts and emotions literally collapse. But how do you balance this trio without fatal mistakes? The secret is to understand that carbs are the fire, proteins the structure, and fats the lubrication that keeps everything running. Ignoring any of them is like building a house without a foundation. Now that you know the visible pillars of your nutritional masterpiece, get ready to discover the invisible helpers working behind the scenes, micronutrients. What comes next will reveal how tiny doses can trigger massive transformations. Did you know that more than 2 billion people suffer from micronutrient deficiencies without even suspecting it? They work behind the scenes in tiny amounts, but their impact is huge. Vitamins and minerals are the true unsung heroes of nutrition, acting as master keys that unlock vital processes. Vitamin C, for example, goes far beyond preventing colds. It neutralizes free radicals that age cells and repairs collagen, keeping skin and blood vessels young. Without these invisible molecules, your body would be a castle without gatekeepers. Iron doesn't just carry oxygen. It's the battery that fuels your physical and mental energy, and its lack causes extreme fatigue even with enough sleep. Magnesium, in turn, participates in over 300 biochemical reactions from controlling heartbeats to regulating mood. The magic happens in synergy. Vitamin C multiplies iron absorption by 6x, while vitamin D is the sentinel that directs calcium to the bones, preventing it from depositing in arteries. It's a biochemical orchestra where every note depends on the other. But how do you ensure this symphony doesn't miss a note? The answer lies in diversity. A single food rarely contains all the necessary micronutrients. When you combine spinach iron with orange vitamin C or salmon vitamin D with broccoli calcium, you create a domino effect of cellular protection. Now that you know the invisible engineers of your health, get ready to discover how to turn this knowledge into a living shield against external threats. What happens when your army of micronutrients goes to battle? The answer is in the next topic. Your body is constantly battling invisible invaders, and your diet is the most powerful arsenal you can provide. Research shows that 80% of infections could be prevented with strategic food choices. Garlic, with its sulfur compounds, acts like a chemical agent that destroys bacteria and viruses before they even attack. Mushrooms, especially shiitake and reishi, are true generals of the immune army, training defense cells to identify and neutralize threats. These foods aren't just seasonings, they're biological armor. Citrus fruits like lemon and orange carry vitamin C in doses that surpass any supplement, creating an antioxidant force field that protects cells from damage. Ginger, in turn, is a silent warrior. Its gingerol inhibits inflammatory cytokines, reducing exaggerated immune reactions. The magic happens in the combination. When garlic enhances the action of mushrooms or vitamin C multiplies ginger's compound absorption, the protective effect becomes exponential. It's synergy in its purest form. But where does this battle really take place? The answer will shock you. 70% of your immune system is housed in the gut. Every food choice strengthens or weakens this operational base, where defense cells are trained and stored. A healthy gut is an impenetrable headquarters, an inflamed one, an open door for disease. Now that you know the protective shields, you're ready to discover how to turn this immune fortress into an inexhaustible energy powerhouse. What comes next is the secret to endless vitality. Stop fighting post-lunch drowsiness. The solution lies in the right choices before the first bite. Did you know that 90% of people experience drastic energy crash due to foods that sabotage their metabolism? The secret is the glycemic index. Foods like white bread and refined rice trigger blood sugar spikes, followed by abrupt collapses that put your brain in battery saver mode. This glycemic roller coaster not only robs your productivity, but accelerates cellular aging. Mastering this mechanism means regaining control of your day. The balanced plate strategy is your secret weapon. Combine proteins, eggs, chicken, healthy fats, avocado, olive oil, and complex carbohydrates, sweet potato, quinoa in every meal. This trio stabilizes glucose release, turning your body into a slow, efficient combustion engine. Start the day with a protein-rich breakfast like eggs with spinach and oatmeal to keep energy steady until lunch. Between meals, strategic snacks, nuts with berries prevent productivity crash, keeping your metabolism ticking like a Swiss watch. But there's an even more underestimated factor in this equation: hydration. Studies prove that proper water intake can boost your energy levels by up to 30%, as every cell needs fluid to produce ATP, the body's energy currency. When you combine hydration with a balanced plate, you create a virtuous cycle of vitality that lasts all day. Now that you master the art of sustained energy, get ready to discover how these choices not only fuel your present but sculpt your future. What comes next will reveal how your plate can become a time machine. There are places in the world where people not only live longer but live better, and the secret is on their plates. Research shows that inhabitants of blue zones like Okinawa, Japan, Sardinia, Italy, and Nicoya, Costa Rica are 3 times more likely to reach 100 years than the global average. The dietary pattern that unites these people is simply revolutionary. 95% of their diet comes from vegetables, whole grains, and legumes, with meat consumed only 5 times a month. Omega-3 rich fish like sardines, extra virgin olive oil, nuts, and sweet potatoes are the pillars of this extraordinary longevity. This is no coincidence, it's science in action. What makes these foods so powerful? They activate longevity genes through a fascinating mechanism: moderate caloric restriction, eating to 80% fullness, as they do in Okinawa, reduces inflammatory markers and triggers sirtuin production, proteins that repair DNA and protect against degenerative diseases. The combination of olive oil, polyphenols, nut antioxidants, and vegetable fiber creates a synergistic effect that slows cellular aging. Studies confirm those who adopt this eating pattern can reduce heart disease and Alzheimer's risk by 50%. The most surprising part: you don't need to move to a remote island. Harvard research proves that simple dietary changes can add up to 10 years of healthy life. Swapping white rice for brown, adding 1 daily serving of nuts, and using olive oil instead of butter already starts this transformation. Now that you know the Blue Zone formula, get ready to turn these centuries-old secrets into masterpieces on your plate. What comes next is the step-by-step guide to painting your own longevity, one meal at a time.